Oh, shoot. The good news is I did it on porpoise.
Yeah, I'll
Porpoise.
Right here it is. Not right here.
We are in an estuary, and estuaries around the world are the most hospitable places on planet Earth for life. There are more living creatures densely packed into estuaries than any other places on our planet. So what is an estuary? The definition of an estuary is very simple. It's simply the areas on planet Earth where salt water is mixing with fresh water. And when we departed from Rum Runner's restaurant, we got onto the Caloosahatchee River, and our rivers and streams, they bring fresh water downstream to the salt water, and when the tides are incoming, that salt water pushes up against the river water, and that mixing zone of fresh and salt water, that is what creates the estuary. So right now we have a exiting tide. So if you look at the bubbles that are floating out here, you can see that the bubbles are all moving this direction, and that is heading us out in the direction of the Gulf of Mexico. So we are right in that mixing zone. And estuaries have a nickname. They are nicknamed nature's nursery grounds because so many species of life are born here. So they are nicknamed nature's nursery grounds. And within the estuary, we're in a smaller part right now. We are in what's called a natural mangrove forest. And in the world, there are 54 different species of mangroves. And out of the 54, Kennedy, out of the 54, how many does Florida have?
54.
Three. Out of the 54 different species of mangrove trees, Florida gets 3 of them. We get the red mangrove, the black mangrove, and the white mangrove. And the red mangrove tree makes up 80%. And if you kind of look back where the sun is hitting the roots, you can see a little bit of a reddish tinge on those roots, and that's why they have the name the red mangrove. And the red mangroves, they are also known as the base of the food web. And what was your name? Is it Hannah?
Anna.
Anna. Anna, can you tell everybody what a food web is or a food chain? Have you learned that in school?
I have, but I forgot.
Do you know? Can you tell us? What was your name again?
John.
John?
But I go by Jack.
Jack? Jack, John?
It's the what eats what.
Perfect. It's how life feeds off of life. That was awesome. Give John, Jack, John a big round. Whoa! And if you're the base of the food web, that is basically telling you that you are producing more food into the ecosystem than anything else. And the red mangroves are the base of the food web. And so the question I commonly get asked is, well, what type of food are they producing? Well, if you look at the trees carefully, and you'll see green leaves over there. And what other color leaf do you see on there every once in a while? Yellow. And what's going to happen to those yellow leaves?
They fall.
Big fish jumped over there. They're going to fall into the water, and that is our food source. Every 1 acre of these trees, 1 acre is 208 feet by 208 feet square. Every 1 acre of these trees drop 8,000 pounds of leaves into the environment every 1 year. And when the leaves first drop, they're kind of a yellowish color. And if you look in the water, you can see some that go to an orangey looking color, then they go to a dark brown orange, and that's when they get waterlogged and they sink to the bottom and they start rotting and decomposing. And then we have a group of organisms called detritoids that start eating those rotting leaves. And detritoids are mostly made up of invertebrates. And what is your name?
Amelia.
Amelia, what is an invertebrate? A creature without a?
Backbone.
Very good. Give Amelia a round of applause. Got some smart kids on the boat today. Creature without a backbone. So things like worms start eating those rotting leaves. Actually, one day I had a lady stand up in the back of the boat and she said, "Oh, my ex-husband must have been an invertebrate." I told her that's a different type of spineless creature. Pretty big fish here. You can see the wake it's making. So things like worms start to eat those rotting leaves, and then we have our shrimp and our seahorses and our crabs start to eat them. And then let's say, I don't know, a little fish comes along and eats the shrimp. And what eats a little fish?
Bigger fish.
Big fish. And what eats a big fish?
Giant fish.
Do you like big fish? Do you like fish? So, dolphins and sharks and eagles and ospreys and people, we are all eating the big fish, and we are the top predators. So very quickly, Jack, I have moved us through a food web, right? We started at the base, we went to the intermediates, and then we worked our way up to the top predators. And one of the amazing statistics about the red mangrove trees is that in areas in Florida where they have disappeared, 80%, is that a big number or a little number, Jack? 80% of all of the sea life disappears. Where there's no mangrove trees, 80% of the sea life disappears. That's how reliant the ecosystem is on those trees, on the top of the tree. That is an osprey, a bird of prey in the raptor family, sitting right on top of that tree. In the world, there are 6 different types of raptors. Ospreys are one. Can you name another raptor?
Eagle.
Eagle. Can you name one?
Hawk.
Hawks, falcons, kites, and owls. And one of the cool things here in Florida is we can see at least one of every single type of raptor. We can see one of at least all 6 of the different raptors, and that is one of them, osprey up there. That's one of our top predators because they're eating the medium to big fish, and nothing really hunts the ospreys. Everybody doing good?
Yes.
Osprey's talking to us. Maybe I told him or her to shut up, I don't know.
You're taking a nap.
Sometimes they talk back, so. Any questions from anybody before we get moving here? Everybody's good? Okay. All right, let's get the boat moving.
I don't want to sit here. Go sit back. Oh, buddy.
That's they're white. White gray. Gonna walk this from over there now.